Guess what, guys? I've got some exciting news to share with you today. This one's especially for the care workers in the UK, particularly those from countries like India, Nigeria, and the Philippines. There's something really interesting that you should know about, and I can't wait to spill the beans. So, stick around as we dive right into it. I stumbled upon this news recently, and I couldn't wait to share it with you all. Let me screen share with you so we can go through it together. The big news is that a union has launched a program to protect care workers in the UK. The Southford Council is the first to sign the agreement, which aims to prevent the exploitation of migrant care workers. This could be a game changer for many care workers who were feeling stuck due to recent changes in immigration rules. The agreement, called the Migrant Care Workers Charter, was designed by care workers and the trade union, Unison. It offers new protections for care workers who faced losing their immigration status if they left their employers. This deal is a significant step towards preventing exploitation of workers on unsponsored visas. Joining the union in the UK is crucial not only for care workers but for all workers to protect their rights and have a voice in the workplace. The government even encourages everyone to join a trade union for their benefit. After the recent changes in immigration rules, many care workers found themselves in difficult situations. Losing their job meant risking their visa status and having only 60 days to find a new employer, apply for a different visa, or leave the country. Some care workers were forced to leave the UK, while others struggled to find new employment. The uncertainty and stress caused by these changes affected many care workers who had come to the UK with hopes of building a better future. Union organizers emphasize that care workers who have made significant sacrifices to work in the UK, often with vulnerable populations, are at risk of exploitation by unscrupulous employers. This initiative aims to address these challenges and provide much-needed support for care workers facing uncertainty in their immigration status. Many individuals found themselves in a tough spot, facing challenges in the UK job market. They shared their stories openly, unable to keep their struggles hidden any longer. Some had to sell their belongings and leave secure jobs back home to pursue opportunities in the UK, only to find themselves in dire situations. They spent a lot of money to come to the UK, only to discover that their employers had no work for them, leaving them stranded. Some couldn't even find additional jobs to make ends meet, resorting to living hand-to-mouth or relying on charity for basic necessities. It was a tough situation, with some resorting to sleeping on buses or streets due to lack of resources. After speaking out, some employers faced consequences, with the Home Office launching investigations and revoking sponsorship licenses.
This left the victims in a difficult position, given only 60 days to find new employment or leave the UK. Many confessed that they had nothing to return to in their home countries, and their future in the UK was uncertain. In response to these challenges, the Charter includes commitments from signatories like Stafford Council to support care workers who have faced exploitation or uncertain immigration status. They pledge to act as a last resort employer, helping victims stay in the UK and creating an ethical recruiter list to prevent rogue employers from receiving public funds. This initiative follows the efforts of union officials in Greater Manchester, who assisted Nigerian care workers facing job loss and immigration issues due to their employers' actions. The Home Office was aware of these situations, as victims openly sought help and shared their stories, leading to license withdrawals and public scrutiny of the companies involved. Okay, so let's talk about how the government is cracking down on some shady stuff that's been going on. Basically, there were people selling sponsorships for jobs, bringing folks into the UK, and then leaving them high and dry with no work. It was a mess, and that's why the government stepped in to put a stop to it. They made it so only regulated companies can sponsor people now. Some companies were taking advantage of this system, bringing in folks without any real job prospects, just to make a quick buck. It's messed up. People were losing money and hope. But hey, shout out to the unions for stepping in to help out. They had workers' backs, especially those who were being exploited. It's like these workers were trapped, with their immigration status being used against them. They were being treated like property by these companies, and it's just not right. The unions were like, nah, we're not having it. They fought for these workers, making sure they were treated fairly and paid properly. I mean, can you believe some workers were paying up to £25,000 just to come to the UK, only to find out there was no job waiting for them? It's a scam, plain and simple. These recruiters were making promises they couldn't keep, leaving these workers in a tough spot. And imagine sharing a cramped flat with 6 other people. It's just not right. These workers deserve better. But hey, there's hope on the horizon. Some local authorities are stepping up to make things right. They're working with the unions to ensure that care workers are treated with respect and paid fairly. It's a step in the right direction, and hopefully, more councils will follow suit. Better conditions for workers mean better care for residents, so it's a win-win. Overall, it's good to see people standing up for what's right and fighting against exploitation. It's a tough situation, but with the right support, things can get better. Let's keep pushing for fairness and equality in the workplace. Thanks for listening. And remember, stay informed and stay strong.